What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Unfiltered Truth. I'm your host, Phil Robinson. With me, as always, my brother from another mother, the incomparable, the almighty, all-knowing, Mr. Phil motherfucking Jones.
What it do, you guys? How you guys doing tonight? Not a good Sunday. Home opener. That was everything that you could expect not to happen actually happened. An embarrassment, a shit show, a Cleveland steamer, a turd sandwich. You can go down the list. This was not supposed to happen, and it was unacceptable. For this fan base to go for a home opener, probably on the average spending about $350, and then an additional $100 for concession or memorabilia, you had to go and watch a terrible train wreck of a team in the Carolina Panthers. I'm still going to say that shit. And watch these guys fall apart and lose to them. That's just downright disgusting. It's been downright disgusting for the last 72 hours, in my opinion. You find out folks looking like they making business decisions. It's been addressed. As we found out, and everybody else have, they talk that shit over and keep that shit in house, as it should be. But one thing I'm going to address right now is this. As much as I've heard, oh, this goes on in any other fan base, this goes on there, that goes on there, I'm going to say this shit loud and fucking clear. Don't be calling or dropping any racial slurs on anybody. On the players just because they did not perform well? Really? As a fan base, as Raider Nation, this story franchise that has helped so many blacks, so many Latinos, so many men, women, giving them the opportunity to be able to do what they did. And somebody want to just drop in and say, yeah, we're just going to drop some racial slurs up in here like it's fucking nothing. No, you don't do that shit. Yeah, I called that shit out yesterday. I hope anybody else will see the motherfuckers that be running their fucking mouth with that shit. Call it out from now on. Don't turn no fucking blind eye. I get it. This shit goes on a lot, but it shouldn't have to be going on with our fan base. Get those motherfuckers out of here. I'm sick of that shit. Someone want to have the fucking nerve to add Jack Jones into a fucking group chat and say, oh, we're going to call him a fucking ape. We're going to call him a nigger. What kind of shit is that? And some of you motherfuckers still following these motherfuckers out here with that bullshit. So I start to look at you guys and question where the fuck your mindset at. On the real, if you know how this shit rolls with this fan base, you know how this shit has been rolling with us long ago. And I don't give a fuck anybody said, well, you know, it is on Twitter, it's on X, it's a cesspool. I don't give a fuck. Call that fucking shit out. That shit's uncalled for. That shit was foul and fucking disgusting. I don't want to see that fucking shit again. And if I do see that shit again, best believe there are folks out there that can find those motherfucking IP addresses. I said my piece on that shit. That shit need to be squashed. Let that shit not be seen again. I'm being real. I know motherfuckers want to say, Phil, you being extra. No, I'm not being fucking extra. That shit's fucking disgusting. I said we got a racism problem going on, and that shit needs to get squashed. I don't give a fuck if it's been just one person, two person, because it ends up being like fucking roaches. They keep coming. Squash that shit now. The motherfuckers that want to run their mouth with that bullshit right now, get the fuck out of here. Bounce. I hate that shit. I said my piece. Let's get back to our regular scheduled program. Robinson.
Well, after that lovely intro, we can move on to the game. And honest and truthfully, mine is not going to be a much better review of this. This was a complete abject, total failure on across the board from everyone. That's probably the only good thing that happened in that particular game, was because everybody fucked up and had no way to point a finger at somebody else. On this program, you've heard us talk about the center position, the offensive line position, the point of attack, and how nothing on offense is going to get better until your center stops butt humping his fucking guard.
Don't get me started, that motherfucker.
I've seen your center block less people than nobody. Just there's no witty comparison. He blocked nobody. Said Ted put out a video. Respect Ted's opinion. Respect what Ted's been doing. But as he put out his video with the clips detailing what the offense was supposed to do, the proper blocking assignments, and how it should have been blocked up, I think he missed the mark just a bit, because I have to believe that no coach is going to scheme up a play where the guard is doubling on, the center is doubling with the guard on the defensive tackle, and is not going to climb to the second level and create the natural corridor. Same with the guard on the other side, who's got an opportunity to wall off the defender and create a pocket where everybody's blocked up. And instead, they're both going to turn and block the same guy, so that you have you got five guys basically blocking three, and you're getting your run shut down because there's no communication, there's no cohesion, there's bad technique, horrible fundamentals, and as a whole, it just sucks. Your quarterback can't just for whatever reason refuses to recognize an open receiver directly in front of him, much less throw him the ball and get it to an open receiver in front of him, and is constantly calling for max protection and handicapping himself by not allowing one of his best pass catchers to go out and run a route and catch a pass. Brock Bowers is averaging, got to be up at least around 15 plus yards per catch. Every time you see him, or turn an out route in the open field and gain another 15, 20 yards on a big play, or work back to the quarterback to get open. That's the guy who needs to be out running routes, not blocking. You're running back. Jameer White. It's hard to say that I've seen vision that bad since Justin Fargas, potentially Trent Richardson, or any maybe even Ray Charles for that matter.
This
But
man's Ray Charles. Shit.
he refuses to see a hole. He's never seen one. Even when he's running into one, he's still looking someplace else so he can find a way to get tackled, especially behind the line who's not doing an adequate job of run blocking. And it's a horrible thing, and you hate to see it. And everybody, but he's also being deployed in a manner that doesn't suit the style of his abilities. And zone running is not his forte. Well, I think we can all be safe in saying that he doesn't run zone. And so continuing to ask him to do it and he can't do it makes him look like he's the dummy. And this whole time, once again, we're square pegging a round hole, wondering why this shit doesn't work. And the largest thing that I've seen with this team so far over the course of these 3 games is that everybody is standing the fuck up. Low man wins. What happened to that? It's football 101, simplistic. Some people will laugh, some people will recognize it and appreciate it. But because they're not getting low, whether it's the running back, the offensive lineman, whoever it is that's blocking, nobody's getting any push and nobody's creating any space, and that's why shit ain't working.
I mean, what else you want me to say? I mean, you hit off the you hit the $1 million answer. These motherfuckers are standing right up now. The one thing that gets me every fucking time I'm looking at fucking Andre James spinning around dancing looking for somebody. How the fuck is it that you can't find the person that you're supposed to be blocking?
Because he ran
And
by
then
him when he hiked the ball.
not
He
just
never
that, man. It's the one thing I've been seeing a lot, and some people can say that, oh well, he was chipping in to help the guard. That's bullshit. What the fuck has Colton Miller been doing?
out of there.
Seriously, what has Colton Miller been doing? Because I'm gonna be real here. As much as some people want to try, as much as people will try to come at Gardner, how the fuck can you get the ball off and your left tackle and left you like by yourself, and you got a man coming right in to fuck you up?
It's hard. It's not easy, and by no stretch of the imagination has Colton Miller been what he was supposed to be, nor lived up to the contract that he earned. Quite frankly, and it is what it is. Availability is the best ability, and whether it be it's been because he's been hurt, but Colton just has not been good over the course of the last 2 years. Now I respect what he's done, and I respect it if he's given all that he can give and his body is breaking down. If that's the case, then it may be reaching time to move on. But Colton has been poor. He's given up 5 sacks in 3 games. The run blocking has not been there, and it's not just that the run blocking hasn't been there. There's some genuine awareness issues that's going on here that has been absolutely mind-boggling, which breaks down to simple numbers and counting the men at the line of scrimmage. I really don't know what else can be done until your center is properly getting the line lined up, getting the line calls in so everybody knows who to block. Because at this point, it would almost be better for them if they just walked up to the line and pointed them out.
But again, this goes back to last year, man. As much as they have all these fucking rankings and shit saying that he's top 10 and this and that, what was something that I kept repeating to you so many times? It starts with Andre James, and he's not calling shit out.
Nope.
when you have your pre-snap adjustments, your line, I don't see that motherfucker calling shit out. I just see him just ready to snap the ball. Are you not communicating with the guards?
At all.
I don't see him doing none of that. And that is something that has always been done by a center. To be able to communicate with your linemen and point out who's about to come to this A gap. What is this looking like? Is that looking like a stunt? Because it can't always be on the quarterback, because the quarterback, he's going to be looking at that secondary or that back end and be like, okay, do I have something free? Do I need to make an adjustment? Do I need to make an audible? But your lineman right there, you're still tall enough to see what's in front of you, and nobody's lined up in front of him. So he's able to see things and being able to make those adjustments before the snap. And he's not doing it. It's unacceptable for someone that's played that position, that plays center. I can't deal with Andre James anymore. And if you want to put him at guard, by maybe that might work. I don't know. To be honest, I wouldn't do it. To be honest, going and get JPJ at center, keep Parham at the guard position, and I say give Jordan Meredith a shot. Because if I see Cody Whitehair going with a fucking another block again, I'm gonna lose my damn mind. Because he's been with
manhead.
Like he's Jekyll and Hyde. That's the problem. He is Jekyll and Hyde when you see him out there making his when he's doing his pulls. When you see him do a pull, sometimes you're like, okay, that was a good block right there. But then all of a sudden, if I need you to make this pull going to the left side, this motherfucker don't know what he's looking at. It's like, I thought the guy was right there. What the fuck are you seeing? It's really a problem. And a part of me is really saying it has something to do with this blocking scheme as well, because they are not comprehending this at all. It is not. It's not good. It's not good. You cannot comprehend. I don't know what James Craig needs to do, if he has to dumb it down some, because some of these guys are not picking this shit up. I don't know if maybe it has a little bit to do with the offensive scheme versus the pass. More of it's the offensive scheme more than the blocking scheme. Maybe some confusion like that. I said something, and I keep bringing this fucker's name up. You know what this offense is reminding me of?
What's that?
It's reminding me of the shit with Paul Gunther on fucking defense.
So that's
you have things on this. Hear me out. You have things on this offense that can be successful, but Getsy is just way in over his head.
Okay. So that's a fair statement to make, and given what we've seen on offense, that's a fair statement to make and a concern to have. Now, I will also note that having watched what I've watched on all 22, because I watched the tape same as you do, and you cannot quantify what his scheme looks like until the offensive line is properly blocking it up. You have no attack. You have no cohesion in your pass protection. You have guys continuously electing to let guys just run free. It's not about not making a block as bad as letting guys go free, just not even looking at them, just not, or attempting to reach a block. just letting them get a free run at your running back or your quarterback. You've got Gardner so shook up. You see him at least once or twice a game try to take a sack 3 times before he actually goes down, before somebody finally gets to him. And meanwhile, he's got somebody open directly in front of him in wide open space. There were a lot of wide open receivers in this game. There were a lot of wide open receivers against Baltimore. They should have.
Yeah, it's a lot. It was a lot. And I was excited. Damn,
when you look at that, if you see the open receivers, so somewhere the scheme is working, but until your line can do what they're supposed to do and get that shit together, and that boils down to your center. Until you address the problem at center, nothing on offense is going to change.
So again, it's almost similar to your Paul Gunther saga that we dealt with on defense. But again, I'm going to point this other thing out here. Even though you said something about going back to Zamir White, why are we fucking running zone? And then I jump back to what you just said, trying to get Getsy's offense to like really come to fruition. You see, like, oh wow, there's that Niners offense that he was working with and shit. No, I don't think that's his fucking offense at all, man. Because the offense I saw that he ran was in Division II. That was truly his fucking offense. And that offense, you had a lot of the single back formation. You had a lot of that I formation. And you were running right up the middle. So my thing is this. He's lost the identity of what he truly wanted for our offense. I think he's trying to force something that is really he's trying to force something that's really not going to work. No matter how many fucking weeks that you keep trying to push it, keep working it in, maybe a little bit work, a little bit there work, but that's not going to get you where you need to be. Your shit should be working each and every week with no problem at all. I get it. Yeah, you can get out coached. That can happen. But your offense is stalling. You are struggling to fucking score 14 points. That is a fucking problem. It's a problem with the running game. It's a problem in the passing game. I mean, like you said, it's there, but it goes hand in hand with your O-line not getting the execution, getting the blocks, getting the assignments done correctly. Because, it's, again, like you said, it starts with your center. Mm-hmm. But this offense is not it. And I'm going to be real here. I wouldn't be shocked if I'm Antonio Pierce and this man is about to get me crucified, knowing that I ain't get the quarterback I wanted, I ain't get this shit or that shit. That motherfucker about to get got. He's about to get his ass fired. He gonna pull a Eberflum like over in Chicago. He gonna be the scapegoat once more. But if you also look at, and this, I come back to his history. You ever notice when he got into the SEC, he only lasted about one season? Mm-hmm. before he could get fired. Now people say that, oh yeah, he decided to leave. Did he leave before they could fire him?
Or leave prior to them firing him.
He never got fired. That's what I said.
Yeah,
he left before they could fire him because he got whiffed. I'm gonna tell you this: them boosters, that step down. They be like, hey, what the fuck going on? This shit. All you doing is this, and this. Why is this not working? This not working. We should be a ranked team here at Mississippi State. What the fuck going on?
No, I hear you. I feel it, and more. It's a little different for me because I'm looking at it and I see how it's working. I can see what he's trying to do, and I truly believe that we'll start with if they can get the blocking together and they can get everybody an assignment, things will open up and begin to flow. But for whatever reason, this offensive line has been shell shocked through the off season and training camp because they just don't. They got their snake bit, like they got an invisible barrier more than 3 yards upfield. They just cannot break that 3-yard box from the line of scrimmage, and rarely are they moving forward. And I know people will say, "Oh, in the zone you run side to side." No, they're not even doing that. They're just getting blown up.
Yeah.
And driven backwards. There's a difference. You should when you go to double team players, you should be getting some type of movement on them, not being stymied at the line of scrimmage in a 2-on-1. That's a win for the defense, and the defensive line have been winning in all 3 games against us.
Especially on 4th and inches. 4th and 1, 4th and 2. You can't even generate a push.
Nothing. You can't even hold your ground.
But again, this is why I say they are not a zone blocking team. When you look, what's crazy, that was when I hate to say it, bro. Even when Cody Whitehead was more into his power gap when he had his success. Dylan Parham started kicking it in when it was power and gap. Thayer Mumford, power and gap. Colton Miller, power and gap. I can keep going down there, and I'm going to tell you this. A motherfucker that's going to really be extremely successful in a power and gap scheme is Jackson Power Johnson. He going to run through a motherfucker. And I've seen him run through a motherfucker up close, and I said, good God almighty. Get me that son bitch on my line right now. When I saw him at the Senior Bowl, to this day, he had a motherfucker talking like Coach Farm after he blew up a play. I was like, he just ran through the motherfucker. Snapped the ball and just went right through him. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
He took that boy's soul. Y'all can make fun of his hair when he looking like Quasimodo and shit from the Hunchback of Notre Dame, but I mean, I'm gonna just say this. We were waiting for the matchup between him and Tavondre. We were waiting. People had money put to the side, ready to place bets between those two on a one-on-one drill. Motherfuckers were waiting to see that shit. They would talk. That was like the shit you talk about. Like, I'm ready to see this one-on-one matchup.
That's what I came for.
He was dealing with his injury. It sucks, but we may see that one day. Who knows?
I would too, Joel. I would too. But
that man.
Hold on, real quick. While we're in here, there's about 216 people here in the live right now. So thank you for tuning in. I just want to take this opportunity to recognize you, tell you to like the show, subscribe, become a member. join the following. We do this thing a little bit. Have been for a while now. Give you some exclusive stuff that nobody else knows, and a lot of people say that, but you can. We've got a track record. Been doing it, like I said, doing this a long time. So please like, subscribe. If you feel generous enough, donate to the ME Foundation. The link is at the bottom. And finish up your thought, and then let's get to this defense.
I hate you. The ME Foundation. You know what, motherfucker? I'm sick of the ME Foundation. Thought there was two motherfuckers here. Hey, it's not a bitch.
Open your hearts and your wallets and just give generously. It's to a very worthy cause. One that's
Y'all
near.
see this raggedy bitch? You. Yeah, let's get to the fucking defense because I'm just gonna say it like my man off The Godfather. Look what they did to my boy. They murdered him. They massacred him. They massacred my boy. All right, I was ready to play the tape, but I mean, for some people, a lot of people have been ignoring it. I don't know why, but if you want to see the recording that I had on all 22 of Robert Spillane, dear God. Somebody help that boy. Somebody help Robert Spillane. I don't know what the fuck happened. I honestly don't know. You know, some people can say, was that a business decision? No, it's not a business decision. That was more, that boy had cement in his damn shoes. Nah, Spilly didn't just get knocked out, bro. Nah, it was more to it. Spilly was like, what's the best way of putting it? Spilly was slipping and falling. He couldn't get up. Bob was moving like the typical white person in a horror film.
Damn. Oh, damn. I can't wait to see what you're going to say about Luke Masterson. I can't wait.
Luke fuck out of here, bro. I'm not getting into that shit, bro.
Oh, yes, you are. Oh, yes, you are. Because if Robert Spillane was a typical white person in a horror film, I can't wait to hear what you're going to say about Luke Masterson, who can't tackle nobody, can't fill a hole, can't read the offense, can't cover, can't stuff a run, and is basically out there for about 60 minutes of cardio with pads on, bumping into people like your little brother who's about 4 years too young to be playing and got no business being out there. I can't wait to hear what you're gonna say about that. Please.
You really want me to talk about that motherfucker? You talking about business decision. That motherfucker made the business decision. He wanted no part. He wanted no part of Chuba Hubbard. If you want to say somebody made a, everybody wanted to try to point out fucking Jack Jones. And Pat McAfee, you can kiss my ass for that shit. You want to point that one fucking thing out. Motherfucker, point out Luke Masterson. That motherfucker was running around seeing ghosts. That motherfucker said, so you want, all we need you to do is attack this gap right here, Masterson. This motherfucker went around to avoid everything. He went around. Oh, the play's already. Damn, I missed it.
Shucks.
Luke Masterson was the motherfucker that made the business decision and Attack on Titan that wanted no part of that shit. Y'all niggas getting eaten? Fuck no. I want no part of this shit. I'm gonna loop all the way over there and act like I did something. Luke Masterson literally did some shit that you see on Walking Dead with one of the survivors. We're gonna go, Rick telling you to go in and do this, so we can go on and see another day to live. This nigga said, fuck that shit. I'm going the opposite end and driving off. That's what Luke Masterson did. He avoided most of the shit. Matter of fact, where this shit at? I think I caught it in that play too.
At this point, it couldn't hurt because I can tell you that for as much as I thought that Divine Diablo was not doing anything in his absence, this defense fell apart and laid an egg. Now, very rarely do I ever have to let somebody off the hook, but Max Crosby is out there playing in a goddamn leg cast, and nobody was helping him. He's out there, he can't plant, no drive, and he's still giving it everything that he can and having some type of positive impact, even if it wasn't for the entire game. But this, while we brought attention to the players, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the bigger shot, and I'm going to look directly at Patrick fucking Graham. And he's been out of his mind.
Hold on. Oh my God. He decided to run into the fucking tight. He said, I'm just going to run into the tight end.
It was safe there.
Oh, I hate this motherfucker. You raggedy bitch.
You got to show the
video. He said, no, I want no piece of this. Where's ass at?
Well, you're pulling that up.
But I'm also going to state this. You know, we're going to point at, I mean, this was not a good game for coaching on Patrick Graham's part. I feel like a lot of them were not prepared. And you go back and look at, I can't believe I'm saying this, and I think I did make a statement on this, but not having Divine Diablo getting guys set up and getting the plays in, it did hurt them. Because Spillane, I'm looking at him, even when he got gashed up on that play, he's trying to get guys to and from in position, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. No, they weren't prepared. They were disorganized and thought that they could try to skate by this shit. That's the problem. And that comes back. I know I had my little milk carton for the players, but Robinson, me and you want to say this as a whole, as one. The coaches fucked up.
Big time.
Patrick Graham, you and your itty bitty twist, you fucked up, my guy.
This was a bad game for everybody, including the coaching staff, because what you saw from the gate, it looked to me like they were running something they've either never practiced or just installed, because nobody was in the right position. No, but the spacing that you had in the middle of the field was the only other way that I could fathom it being that bad was the fix being in, because the linebackers were holding at about in between 5 to 8 yards, and most of the time it was 5. And your safeties are getting to 20 yards and positioning themselves on the numbers when they're running cover 2 and 4, or against cover 3. Your linebackers are bailing early, and your corners are on a line with your safeties 20 yards down the field, leaving nothing but open space, no underneath coverage whatsoever, and nothing to stop a crossing route at all. And on top of that, there was never any adjustments made. Not
No.
one. They vacated the flats. They vacated the middle of the field all game long. The blitz was half-assed all the way up until the time that Spillane actually got home, because Masterson looked like he was jogging throughout the entire damn game. Like he was out there playing soccer with pads on and shit. This shit was disgusting. But there was no planning involved with this whatsoever, or they were just planning.
So it comes now. Y'all ready for the kicker? Y'all ready for the icing on the cake? We come at coaching. Yes, they fucked up. Your D coordinator fucked up. As a head coach, you have all these assistant head coach consultants around you to game plan. You have, I don't know, I'm going to put the names out. I'm putting every motherfucking name out there. Everybody's so worried about me worrying about fucking meme on the coaches. Nah, nigga, I'm going to call the fucking coaches' names out. Your game management coach, Matt Sheldon, what the fuck are you doing?
Took the week off.
Matt Sheldon, what the fuck are you doing? Because did you make a business decision? Wait, because the way you made that business, because you handling game management. And defense is one of the things that he's always been around. So what the fuck is going on? So it's not just on Pat Graham. No. I'm calling that shit out too. So let's not all just throw it on. I'm going to get each and every one of these motherfuckers. Like we got Getsy. Matt Sheldon is one. Pat Graham is one. James Craig and your fucking O-line. What the fuck going on over here? Because this shit ain't cutting it.
Get rid of him now. Because whatever it was that he was supposed to bring, he's taking a line that was trending towards upper middle of the pack and brought them to the worst line in the league. He got to go. Cut bait now. There's no need for this to continue.
I'm going to say this shit here too. And this was something that really gives me the slight cringe. Your passing game coordinator, but I know we focus on defense, but Scott Turner, bro, it's some of the shit that I look at what he has them working with and what they're trying to set up. It ain't it, bro. And that's the same problem they were having in Washington. Just say and making note of that. But again, we having this running back problem. What the fuck going on, Carnell? Cadillac.
Got a block.
That big ass Buick that had horsepower and shit that rides horses ain't doing shit.
Got no turn radius. Got a bad turn radius. What you want me to tell you? You say you dip too hard and try to turn on that, you're gonna flip that beast. then it's no good to nobody.
Now, when we come down to our defense and shit, I know everybody's saying, well, we not getting this, we not getting that. It's so much. Yeah, I can't. Like I said, I came at game management on that shit. But the problem is, it goes to one fucking guy. Now, everybody said, like, it's a problem with head strength and conditioning and, with strength and conditioning. It ain't got nothing to do with them because these are the same guys we had back with Gruden, and they've always done a good fucking job, okay? So anybody want to try to put that blame on them, ain't no blame on them with them not staying healthy. It's just guys, we running short. And the problem is, it starts with your fucking GM. And this shit was said by fucking choker fans. That motherfucker, he will get somebody that you haven't heard from. He will try to sign somebody from NFL International to try to put in the fucking lineup, and this motherfucker has no experience.
None. But he's really big, though. And that's really all we need. Big bodies.
Telesco.
Great RAS score.
I'm going to put blame on him. Major. Because you're dealing with this depth problem. And with the handful of injuries, you should have had something ready to go. Why are you picking up some bargain bin guy? I don't give. Look, as much as somebody want to say, well, you got a Hassan Reddick that you could probably trade for. You have a Yannick Ngakoue that was on the free agent market, but you made no attempts to try and sign him. This man lives out in my area. This man been waiting to play. But guess what? I think he went to Baltimore now.
Yep.
So you had an opportunity to bring a guy back in there and try to sign him. He's familiar with guys, and that would have been a fucking help. As much as you can say that he got you Brock Bowers, again, what the fuck else did he get you?
He got you Brock Bowers so that your quarterback could bring him in to block and max protect and not throw him the ball. Because he failed to get you a quarterback.
He really failed. And he had opportunities to get a quarterback. He had opportunities in the second round to get a quarterback. Yes, I get it. You got Jackson Powers Johnson. You got him. That's still a good pick. But again, you still could have got a quarterback in that third round. Or if you're not that good at getting certain picks in the later rounds, why didn't you package some of that up and you could have went on and got a Hendon Hooker from out of Detroit?
All they wanted was a second.
You got to be creative.
You got to be willing to take the fucking risk and not be a little bitch when it comes to paying up.
Hold the fuck up. Listen here, Raider Man 881. First off, ain't nobody sleeping on Glaze. Glaze, I seen him when I covered Maryland. I seen Glaze at the fucking Senior Bowl and shit. Look, motherfuckers, some of y'all motherfuckers didn't know who the fuck Glaze was. So you gotta tell me shit about him. My whole thing is this. The problem is you have a closed-minded GM that is not getting it done. It does start with him. As much as you want to try to jump up and try to blame on head coaching, you need to start with who's above him.
The roster?
And it's not Mark Davis. It starts with your GM.
Whose job is the roster? Now, the problem why I wasn't sold on Carter is because he does have red flags. This man almost cost this team again. Almost cost the damn team the damn win against the Saints last week. Him running his fucking mouth on the damn sideline and shit,
and trying to start shit. Why the fuck did your head coach got to come over there and talk to your ass like a fucking child? That's a fucking problem. Again, only getting me what? You got what, a few pieces, but the thing about it, you need a fucking quarterback. So yes, I am gonna call Telesco out on that shit. I'm gonna call him out on the fucking death because it starts with him. It starts with your department. What the fuck are you not doing? No, he didn't keep the Patriots scouting department. They gone.
I pay them whatever they wanted.
I wouldn't mind that shit. Hell yeah, that motherfucker know how to work.
Yeah, whatever they wanted for Howie.
I said, fuck it, man. You gonna get a percentage in ownership. Fuck it.
Yeah. You have whatever. Here, take this check and you fill it
that
up.
motherfucker out here like Oprah's giveaway. He said, fuck it. You get a piece. You get a piece. Motherfucker, you're gonna get that guy over there. You see that guy lifting that lifting that building up over there? Yeah, we're gonna go on and sign him, and we're gonna add him in the starting lineup. And he's actually proven talent.
Mm-hmm. And I got him on the cool too for what you thought you wanted to. Now I wanted to address this because if you'd have asked me this 3 weeks ago, I would have told you no. But now that nearly the entire depth of the defensive end position has been compromised, Malcolm Kuntz is on IR. Tyree Wilson, his role, is getting better in his role. He actually had a good game, 3 tackles for losses, and nearly came up on a sack if he wasn't held on the play on the little teardrop that Dalton dropped in the back corner over Moreg and Jones to Johnson, I believe. But in light of that, I would definitely want him on this team because he would be able to contribute to the defense and help get it back on track, if not potentially take it another level above once Max gets healthy. The question is, what do the Jets want for him? And I'm pretty sure at this stage, even if they did have to trade him, they're going to still be asking for a lot. And while we do need him, we need those draft picks in case we need to move up to select a quarterback. So it's kind of one of those catch-22s. If the price is right, move. If it's not, if they want too much, it is what it is. Best of luck. He can sit at home, and you can pay him to not do nothing.
You're right. It is a catch-22 on that one. Damn, I say, what's his name? Hold on. I will point this out. 1 second, bro.
So I'm going to stick to this, and I've said it now, and I'll continue to say it and stick to it until somebody else comes out and proves it otherwise. Tom Telesco was supposed to be able to get the Raiders their quarterback of the future, and he failed. That was why he got the job over Champ. Champ supposedly wasn't supposed to have the connections to be able to pull off the trade to the top, and where Tom said he could get them whatever it was that they needed, whether it meant moving up or staying put, and which he did neither of. But he got us Brock Bowers, and Brock Bowers, while I was low on that pick, it does look like he's going to pan out as long as he stays healthy.
Yeah, that's about it.
So it was one rebound pick. I'll say Brock Bowers was one hell of a rebound pick, and that's about the nicest I can be in getting Telesco as flowers. But the rest of that shit, and JPJ was a good pick at 2, even though he hasn't managed to get on the field yet. But the rest of that shit is not it.
No.
And not it at all. And he didn't do enough in the offseason to continue to improve this roster.
But again, so hey, as you said, people say, put this up. People say Tay Adams' cap hit will be a lot if we trade him. We absolutely won't get anything from him after this year because we're not paying him 35 mil. He will be a free agent. I say trade him. As much as you say trade him, they're not going to trade him.
Nobody's going to offer. Because of that very same fact that you stated. If everybody knows that we're not getting ready to pay him 35 million, it's much easier to sit there and wait for him to get
Yep.
cut. And then they don't have to give the Raiders anything. And if you haven't noticed by now, I really don't see a lot of teams lining up to give the Raiders shit.
They never have, never will.
Bill.
Like, think about it. That's how much teams fear us being successful. They will rather trade with Kansas City, give them everything they can fucking get to be doing this for years to come. They'll trade with fucking Washington. They'll trade with the Rams. But we trade with the Raiders. Oh my God.
Fleece
Now
them.
they'll be dominating us for the next 20, 30, 40 years because of this shit. That's how much teams are so worried with us. And as much as you don't see it, because I stated going back to when we first had Patrick Graham as our defensive coordinator. I said he's going to be very successful as our defensive coordinator when you allow him to do what he needs to fucking do. He has been. Now, granted, he had this fucked up game here, but I still stand by what I said. He's the real fucking deal. Going on here with fucking, it's just, I just really just thought about something. I was just like, wow. There's another thing we could have fucking had at quarterback, bro. And he just didn't do it. I know I got a little sidetracked right there, but I can't. I don't think Telesco's going to last that long, bro.
I don't think he should. That man is a Charger through and through, and this is the Raiders, and he has no place here.
When you call, everybody calling this man AP, he the only one calling him Antonio.
Antonio.
Why would you trade him? As we just stated, why would you trade him?
I mean, if somebody's offering you something for him and it's gonna help you, then at that point you do what you got to do. But the likelihood of somebody offering you, and that's if it's anything less than a first.
Now, here's the thing that I go back to. Remember how vocal Adams and what's his face? Adams and Crosby are very vocal when it comes to going to Mark Davis. And I'm gonna tell you this shit. As much as you think Mark Davis won't let that fucking trade happen. Now, the one thing I'm going to also look at, I've seen Tay dropping a couple of these passes and shit. I'm going to just go back to the last two games of the drop that he's had. Because there's something else with that. That's not like him to drop.
He was getting his purse snatched. Let's call it what it was. Every time he hands on the football, there was somebody to rip it out of his hands. And had he taken another couple steps on those three catches, he would have had 3 fumbles. Let's not act like they weren't keying on him and that there weren't people around him. When you force the ball to Devontae, yes, he's different. Yes, he's open when most other guys wouldn't be, but he also places himself in high stress situations. And lately, he's not been making as many of those catches as he used to make, as many of those plays as he used to make. whether you can call it a variety of different things, age, speed, all of that stuff,
Yeah.
or not strong hands, but it's at a point where it's noticeable more and more, and you can't continue to ignore it, because when you call people out and say that people are making business decisions, but you out here playing, not having the greatest game in the world, that's not a good look.
Wow. So you ain't gonna believe this shit. Like I
I'm sure.
fucking said.
And where's that right now?
Huh?
Where's that Dobbs at right now? Dodds?
Oh, he's still sitting in motherfucking Indy.
Yeah, he didn't get a job.
Man. Like I said with Adams.
Ooh, yep, finally got him, huh? He was ducking and he was ducking and dodging, and now they finally got him.
What? So you remember how they said the drops?
Mm-hmm.
How many drops do you think he have already?
How many did they? How many have they charged him with?
Yeah.
2.
1.
Yeah, that's about what I thought.
So looking at it, they're charging it as those drops that we saw. They're charging it as bad throws.
Oh, bad.
Fuck. Oh shit. But it's funny how people want to jump and say that he's moving slow, he's doing this shit. He's never been the fastest, but to be honest, he's still on pace to do exactly what he's done the last
Six,
season of
7,
the Raiders.
another 1,000 yards.
Yep, actually another probably
Maybe
1,200. He's on pace to get 1,200.
Yeah, that extra game helps out a lot.
But the problem was hurting is more like the yards after catch. It has dropped down because you don't have a quarterback to properly place it in. So again, that's why you're getting the bad throws deducted away from those drops.
Still throwing in the triple. Technically, that is that throw no matter what.
Yep.
So it is what it is. It's funny how that works in his favor.
We go back and look at, we're seeing on the tape, we're seeing that these wide receivers are wide open. Put that back up there. Put that back up there. That was. That is a fact. When DA and Bowers in the game, there's no doubling. No, Devontae can't do all that shit by himself. That's why I said when people talk about, wanting to trade him, he doesn't want to go anywhere else. He doesn't want to. You have to understand that. Again, I'm gonna say the key word again: business decision, because he just had a newborn. You're already established in Vegas, close to where you grew up at and out near California. Not too far away. You'd already set up your grandmother with another house. You've done all this shit. Why the fuck am I going to go all the way out there, some cold ass New York, 32 years old, going on 33, and end up having fucking arthritis and shit from this cold ass weather. Cause that's some nasty cold ass weather up there. Why the I just got away from this shit in Green Bay. Why the fuck I'm gonna go out there in fucking New York?
And again, as much as you'd like to talk about Devontae and what it is that he can do, getting slower and all that, it does not matter if you can't block up front.
Thank you.
I just want to take this opportunity, pause that long rant, and let you know that if your center can't block the fucking nose tackle, all of that doesn't matter. You could have the greatest scheme in the world. You could have the greatest passing route concept since Mike Martz in 2000 and 2001. And it will not, if you can't keep the D line off your quarterback because you can't block, whether it's you're electing to block nobody or you just can't do it. So nobody's ready for that conversation with.
Nope.
Nobody's ready for that conversation. That's who he is. That's who he is. And honestly, they should have, again, your general manager who went and got him, signed him, should have known that footwork was an issue with this quarterback. And that because it was an issue, you were going to have problems with accuracy, throwing, velocity, ball placement, all of the things that would help contribute to extending yak yards and rack opportunities.
So when you look at his yak yards, yeah, when you have a shitty ass quarterback play, it does play a huge fucking difference.
Huge.
When you had Garoppolo last year, you went 3.3. You got Gardner Minshew, now you had 2.5. When you had a decent quarterback, you stayed around on the range on the average of about 4.9. But yeah, when you have a light ass center that can't block worse shit, but what run up into somebody else's ass instead of properly blocking the man that's in front of you, or how about you try not to allow a motherfucker to push you back into the quarterback? I mean, maybe you had success. Andre James, I'm gonna be real. I just say he played like a bitch. I said it. I'm gonna say it loud. I'm gonna say it proud. Andre James out here playing like a bitch.
Oh.
He playing like a baby bat bitch.
Not good enough to be on the field. Should not be there.
I ain't got nothing else to say, man. I done said my piece.
As have I. Chat, say yours before we get out of here. Thank you, everyone, once again for tuning in. We appreciate that. Like and subscribe.
He gotta catch me first, Raider Alliance. He gotta catch me first.
And that is a problem because he ain't catching.
He can't even catch the fucking lineman that's in front of him. So what you fucking think he gonna get my ass? Fuck out of here, that bullshit.
He'd have to see you first, and if you move sideways, he'll lose you. It was
no, just hit the spin move. That motherfucker be like this.
Or run a TE stunt. He'll never see you coming.
Shit.
You'll be able to walk right by him and tap him
on. He's so bad worried about my ass. Motherfucker ain't worried about the motherfucker that's in front of his ass.
Man, you'd be able to Lance Stevenson that man, and he wouldn't even see you coming.
Oh, nigga.
That's
y'all
how bad.
My ass for the damn Wi-Fi.
But
wrap this shit up.
We're gonna have to get back and figure out a time to do this and get the the whole Cleveland pregame going on, because we went from this ass whooping to the booty warrior.
Oh hell no, man! Man, wrap it up.